Hey folks, welcome back to the Rock and See Homestead. My name's Lance. I want to welcome you to our channel. Today is going to be an exciting day here. We are planting our garden
right now.
So this is what we're going to plant today. We're definitely going to plant some of the tomatoes. So this one's a really big one. We got this at the Shindig from Roots and Refuge. It's definitely needing to go in. And then some of our bigger ones, we may plant those. As you can see even over here, some of those are ready. We're going to plant all of our lettuce, spinach type plants, and then going to plant definitely our broccoli that's growing up. Some of these just need to get in the ground, especially before it gets too hot and they get too big in the pots. But one of the things that we may not plant is our peppers. These are just little itty bitty things at this point. They're a little slow coming up, so we may let them stay out here and just in the pots. I need to split these up here in a little bit, but I think those will be okay to wait for a couple weeks. And of course, we got a little bit of work to do for our watermelon. I kind of pulled an audible on Marcy, sorry. But we're gonna plant about, it looks like at least 5 or 6 watermelon plants, and we're gonna do some okra, but we're gonna do that over just in the ground, in that open space out there. We're gonna kind of work that soil up a little bit. And we have some cucumbers that are going to go up against that side of the compost bin so they can kind of trellis up it and over it and get some good cucumbers for some pickling. So it's been a couple of days since we put any water on the beds, and they've kind of dried out on top. You can see it's pretty hard to get in there. We're just going to come through here and break this up. But you can see it's still holding moisture pretty good. So we'll get these kind of worked over, get everything ready to go for the planting. All right, so the first bed that we're going to plant is going to be our lettuce spinach bed. So we kind of have it laid out. I know it looks pretty close, but I think it's going to be okay. And just to kind of review what we're going to put in, this first couple rows is going to be a Paris Island lettuce. As you can see, this stuff is really going good. It needs to go in. This is a Freckles romaine. And then we have some butter crunch. Is that what? Yeah, butter crunch lettuce. And then over here we have some spinach. All right, so this is how we're going to do. So this is just a lettuce. It's a Paris Island lettuce. And I'm just going to dig down a little bit. We kind of fluffed up the soil a while ago. And I'm just going to plant it. See if I can get this out. And I'm just going to plant it just up to that little area. Don't want to get it too deep. Just kind of putting it a little bit there. And then I'm just going to spread some of our worm castings around the top of it. I may try to put some on the bottom of one to see if it makes it any better or not, just for some extra soil. And we'll do another one. This pot's a little bit bigger. And this dirt's pretty loose in there, so it's not tightly wound up. I don't have to break it apart too much. And one of the things I haven't watered these today, and we didn't water the bed. We kind of want that first drink of water to be from the bed itself, and hopefully that will get these guys going, growing excellently. So now it's time to plant the broccoli and onions. That's what's going to be in this bed. And we have a variety of sizes of broccoli, so we're just going to go for it, and hopefully it turns out okay. And if we need to get some replacements, we can get some replacements here. But essentially, we're going to do the same thing as we did for the lettuces. These don't like to get planted too deep from what my understanding is. I'm going to put a little bit of worm casting in the bottom. And one of the things that we're, being new gardeners, you're always afraid of certain things. And one is Are we giving enough space for these? We think we are, and hopefully we are. This one's a little bit bigger. So we got all the broccoli planted, and now we're going to start planting some more onions. Our seedlings did not turn out very well, so we're just going to plant some of these bulbs we got at our local Tractor Supply. We've already planted some white ones. These are some yellow ones. We're just going to plant them in. So with the onions, they're very similar to garlic when you start planting. As you can see here, you can see there's a little nub at the bottom of it. That's what's going to go down. And this is going to go up, and then we're going to plant them in just to where it covers all of it, and it is completely under the ground. Let's see, there we go. And then we'll just cover it up and get them watered in. And we're going to plant these pretty close to each other, about 2 to 4 inches, or about 2 inches apart. And then we'll even do them in a crisscross pattern, just like I'm doing right here. So essentially what we want is we just want to have a heavy bed of onions, and then throughout the season, as we're ready to pick them, we'll pick in between the different rows, and what that will do is it give us some fresh green onions to eat, and then when it comes to the other onions, it gives them more room to grow and get bigger. So now we're on our tomato bed here, and we're going to plant these a little bit different than we have any of the other plants that we've planted. They're going to be a little bit deeper. This is one of the ones that we picked up from Roots and Refuge at the Shindig. And it's a cherry tomato. And we're going to plant it fairly deep here. I'm going to say at least 8 to 10 inches. So here I am just digging a big hole, because this is a big seedling. And one of the reasons we're going to plant it so deep is, as you can see here, there's little spines or little prickly things that run up the shaft of the plant, and all of those are actually become roots at some point. So we're going to plant pretty high, and as you can see, I'm even pruning it to give the plant a good canopy. And for all of our research and everything we've seen and watched and read, this is what they're saying to do. I just kind of pinch that off with my finger and get the plant a nice little canopy up top, and then plant that fairly deep in there. And of course the wind was going pretty good yesterday. And now my mama has always said to put eggshells at the bottom of your tomato plants. So hey, if mama says to do it, you better do it. And of course I'm going to grab some of our worm castings, put that in the bottom, and then we're just going to put some dirt in there. And that's essentially what we're going to do with all of them. No matter how big or small those plants are, we're going to go through the same process as we move along and get them all settled in here, and then give them a good drink of water, and they should be set to go. Now when it comes to the spacing of these tomatoes, I'm going to space them about 1.5 feet to 2 feet apart. You know, again, it's one of those fear factors of a new gardener. You're not quite for sure about the spacing. So we're probably going to side on the side of caution on this, and plant them a little further apart. We just don't know how big these plants are going to get, and we're hoping to get huge and we'll have a lot of tomatoes. But until we know for sure, we're going to go with this. I think we'll have plenty of tomato plants and plenty of harvest as we go along here. All right, so we're in our last bed, and what we're going to do is plant some squash. We have some green zucchini and some yellow squash, some early prolific straight neck. So we're going to see how this works. We're going to direct sow it in, and we'll probably put a little bit more seed than probably is actually needed on the plants, and we'll just weed out the seedlings as we go. So let's get started. What it says here is needs about 1 inch deep. So I'm just going to make a deep little trough. And then from there, come back and put down some seeds. don't know if there's a right way or a wrong way to put these seeds in the ground, but I want to do it just like everything else, where it looks like there was a kind of a bud into it. I'm going to put that down and actually place these. Hopefully that's the right way for the plants. We'll see how many of these come up, and then we will definitely cut back the ones we don't need. These things are going to be pretty big plants. Hey, if I'm doing this wrong, guys, let me know. I'd like to hear from you in the comments. So we did decide to plant a couple of our peppers. Now, these are kind of small, so hopefully they will make. We're just figuring while we're planting, let's just get them planted. Hopefully they'll make it. But one thing different about peppers, even though the peppers and tomatoes are in the same family, peppers do not like to be planted up their stem like we did on the tomatoes. So make sure that you don't do that. That's something that they don't like. But other than that, from all I've understood and read and researched, they're very similar to how to plant a tomato. Other than that, about the same distance apart, other than just the depth and getting that dirt up by their stem. They like to have a little bit more of a stem showing out. And I'm not putting any eggshells on here because I don't know if that's a good thing for them or not. It could be, but we're just going to go with it just like it is. And these are all banana peppers that we're planting right now. And we got a couple bell peppers we're going to throw in here. And maybe a couple more plants as they get a little bit bigger. Well, guys, thanks for coming along on our journey here for our beginning 101 gardening classes, because I'm telling you, we've learned a lot, but we definitely have appreciated some of the help and advice all of you guys have left in comments. So please keep on giving it to us. I'm sure we did something wrong in planting, and hopefully you guys will let us know and we can make a correction or know better for next time. And if you haven't followed us on Facebook or Instagram, we'll leave some links down below. Make sure you go down there, follow us on there, so you'll get some updated photos on these things before you see a video. So thank you for watching. From our homestead to yours, have a blessed day, and we'll catch you on the next video.